Hello friends, today I am going to discuss about some objective type questions of biology chapter number 2, that is reproduction in plants and animals. First exercise A1 is fill in the blanks. First one, the cell formed by the fusion of male and female gametes is known as dash. It is zygote because when the fertilization takes place, then one thick layer around the uterus is made, that is the zygote which will be after form the embryo and then take the shape of the baby. Second one, each cell are produced small outgrowths called dash buds. So in the sponge spore formation, some plants are there in which some buds are being outgrowth, in which when they are fallen down, after that they may belong to their own life only and also the procedure of living. Third one, in grafting, a stalk is joined with a squine. So squine is basically a thick liquid gel when you cut off some bamboo trees or another trees in which excess of liquid like gum is present, that is the part of scion. Fourth one, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is known as pollination. So pollination, you know that when transfer of pollen grains is from anther to stigma in the plants, in the flower only in plants, so they can be by the different agents like wind, insect, water, etc. So these are the agents of pollination which takes place in pollination only. Fifth one, a new variety obtained by artificial pollination is called dash. So in artificial pollination, one new breed is there which is known as hybrid. Then sixth one, the pimule develops into the dash. It is shoot. In the time of germination, one seed is growing after getting all the things like moisture, air, soil, water, absorbing these all things and nutrients, it is developing itself. So after pimules, it will form the shoot. Then seventh one, in human beings, fertilization takes place in the dash tube. So after the ovary in the female reproductive system, one tube-like structure is there in which fertilization takes place, and then after all it goes to the uterus, and the uterus make a thick lining for the fertilization. It takes place to care of the baby. That wall will provide its all the nutrients to the baby. Then eighth one, the embryo is attached to the placenta by the dash cord. So when the baby after the zygote, it forms a embryo. So when this embryo is large in size, one cord is there which is attached to the uterus for maintaining a shape and position where the baby is going to be in which direction. So this is the umbilical cord. Then ninth one, the embryo is protected with the uterus by dash fluid. So whenever fertilization takes place, in the place of uterus, some liquidy substance is present. In this liquidy type substances protect the baby from causing any diseases in the time of pregnancy. Then 10th one, the whole process of ovulation, thickening of uterine and menstruation is called dash cycle. So it is menstrual cycle. Whenever the ovaries are going to the fallopian tube in every 28 days, then the uterus make a thick lining by the senses of the brain, that if the fertilization takes place, that wall will be attached to the embryo for providing it nourishment and also giving it a position. So whenever the lining of uterus fails, that fertilization does not takes place, so that line which are present in the uterus for marking the baby's growth and nutrition will be dried, and after that with the in the form of blood only it will goes out. So this is known as menstrual cycle. Then B1, choose the correct option. First one, regeneration is seen in all of these: flatworms, hydra, lizards. Regeneration means whenever a small part is being deflected from any kind of person, or like if we take the example of lizard, sometimes you have seen that the lizard's tail is cutted, so after some times you will see that the tail of lizard is growing. So this is regeneration because some tissues and cells are there to repair and also form a new tail. And if the tail is there and no body is there, so the tails cannot form to the whole body, but body, if some damages is conquering like cutting off the tails or hands, it can be cured by the regeneration process in some medium type of cells or tissues. So all of these. Second one, spores are produced by fungi. So some spores are present in which the process of spore formation is being done. So fungi is one of them which is producing the spores. Then third one, which of the following is a rhizome? So rhizome means it is containing some body like structure in which new outgrowth can be held. Like in the spore formation, one new spore or bud is there, by after cutting it, it also lives its own life, same like the rhizome only. So the answer is ginger, because some threatened like structure is there of bud outgrowth in ginger also. So this is known as rhizome. Fourth one, pollen grains are formed in the anther. So in the anther it is attached to the pollen grains. We have seen that from that only it is going to the stigma, and this process is known as pollination. Then fifth one, grafting is a method of artificial vegetative propagation. Like if you take a rose, one rose is very healthy and in well condition, but the color of the rose is not good, or if you don't like it, and the next rose is having a color good but its health is not good. So by grafting method you can cut the part of the healthy plant from the rose, and then you can stick off the part of the rose which you have cut in from another plant, and this will now grow to a other plant and also attached by this process of artificial vegetative propagation, which is grafting method. Then sixth one, the reproductive walls of a flower are androecium and gynoecium, in which in the plant's reproduction takes place. Seventh one, fertilization is an external in fish and amphibians. So here outside means like in the human the the fertilization takes place in the body only, but in some organisms like fish and amphibians, they produce in water their seed or the baby which is produced after fertilization, and further they grow by themselves only for their food and also for their health. They work from itself only. Eighth one, the testes are located in the scrotum. So in the males, one place is there which is known as testes, which is located beside the scrotum. Then ninth one, menstruation occurs when the ovum fails to get fertilized. So basically one thick lining is there in the uterus, by if the ovum is produced and if not fertilized, that dry skin cells of blood will be taken out in the form of blood, and this happens in every 28 days, that every ovum goes to the fallopian tube for the fertilization. If not fertilized, and the uterus lining will go out in the form of blood only. It occurs in every month. Then 10th one, the uterus opens into the vagina. So in the female reproductive system, when uterus is there in which the linings are formed and reproduction takes place, where similar beside it one part is known as vagina in which the uterus gets over. Then C1, write true and false. If false, write the correct statement. First one, binary fission gives rise to two daughter cells. So this is true because binary means two and fission means division. So when two divisions are being in smaller organisms, this is known as binary fission. Then second one, that is asexual reproduction result in genetic variation. So this is false because in the asexual reproduction no genetic variation results. Then third one, the mass of undifferentiated cells formed in the tissue culture is called callus. So this is false. The undifferentiated cells in the tissue culture are known as spore, in which after the buds are formed, then it is spore formation. It is held by some organisms like fungi. Fourth one, combs are found in Gadulus and saffron. So this is true. Combs is a part of Gadulus and saffron in which pollen grains are beside the anther and in the support of stigma. Then fifth one, layering is used to cultivate ginger. This is false because layering can be done in those or on those plants in which their stems are very weakened and the growth of the plant is very slow. So as in the ginger, it fast grow as in because of the process of layering only. So this is false. Sixth one, plants produced by vegetative propagation take longer to mature and those produced from seeds. So in the vegetative propagation, sometimes can be taked, but without the maturity of the seeds only, the germination is going on, then it will be forward process and then moving to a whole plant is there. Then eighth one, the embryo is in a germinating seed consists of plumule and radicle. So this is false because the embryo is the coat of a seed which protects like a harder layer in the seeds for growing in germination so that no damage can be there to the seeds in the soil. Then ninth one, sperms mature in the epidermis. So this is true. Then 10th one, non-identical twins are formed by single ovum. This is false. Non-identical twins are formed by two ovums. So these were some objectives we discussed. In next video we will proceed further with another exercise. Thank you.